Hello everyone, myself Sukrishna. In this video, I am going to explain about database activities like connect to database activity, disconnect from database activity, and run query activities in UiPath Studio. So let's get started. To work with database activities, we need to install UiPath.database.activities package. By default, this package won't be available in the dependencies. We need to install it from Manage Packages. So click on Manage Packages, click on Official and search for Database. Select the package UiPath.database.activities package. Choose the latest version, click on Install and click on Save. Now the package got installed. So let's go to the Activities panel, search for Database. So these are all the activities for the database. Connect to database activity is used to establish the connection to the database. To create the connection, we need to click on Configure Connection, click on Connection Wizard, and here in the data source, we need to select the database that we will going to connect. So here I am going to connect with Microsoft SQL Server. So I am selecting Microsoft SQL Server. Then we need to choose the authentication. Here we have two types of authentications are available, Windows authentication and SQL Server authentication. So let's understand these two authentications first. Windows authentication means you will get a database access on a specific machine level. For this authentication, we will not have any username and password. By using the server name and database name, we will connect to the database. SQL Server authentication means for connecting the database, we will have a username and password. By using server name, database name, username and password, we will going to connect to the database. The main difference between the Windows authentication and SQL Server authentication is in Windows authentication, you will going to connect to the database in a machine where you have access by using the server name and database name. In the SQL Server authentication, you will going to connect to the database from any machine by using the server name, database name, username and password. Here in my machine, the SQL Server configured with Windows authentication. So here I need to mention only server name and the database name. So here in the server name field, I am going to mention my server name. And here in the database name section, I am going to select the database employee. Then click on test connection. So here you can find the success message. In case if the provided details are wrong, here in the same screen you will get the exception details. So click on OK and click on OK. Now we have created the connection and here you can find the connection string and the provider name. The provider name will automatically selected as per the database name that you have chosen in the connection wizard. The output of the connect to database activity will give us the database connection. So let me create a variable to store the database connection. So let me take one log message to display the connection success message. Right? Now here we have mentioning the connection string directly, right? So it is better to maintain the connection string in the UiPath orchestrator assets under secret data type. So let me show you how we can save the connection string in the UiPath orchestrator assets under secret data type. So first let me copy the connection string and let's go to the UiPath Orchestrator. To create the asset, we need to click on Add Asset, create a new asset. So here in the asset name, we need to mention the asset name. So here I mention the asset name as SQL connection string. So in the type, we need to choose the secret, and here in the secret value, we need to paste the connection string. Then click on Create. Now let's access this UiPath Orchestrator asset in the studio. So let's go back to the UiPath Studio. So here I am going to take an activity, get secret. In the secret asset name, I am going to select the asset that I have created, SQL connection string. The output of the get secret activity will give us the secure string. So let me create a variable. Now let's copy the variable, and in the connect to database activity, first remove the connection string. In the secure connection string, let's paste the variable, right? Now let's run the process and let's see whether the connection is creating or not. Now the process execution has been completed, and here in the output we can see the connection success message, right? Disconnect from database activity is used to disconnect the database connection, right? So for this activity in the existing connection, we need to pass the database connection variable. So here I am going to pass the DB connection. So here I am going to take one log message, and I'm going to mention the message as connection disconnected, right? Now let's save and run the process and verify the output. Now the process execution has been completed, and if you go to the output panel, so here we can find the connection success message and connection disconnected message, right? Run query activity is used to extract the tables information from the database. So it could be a single cell value or a single column or multiple columns or single row or multiple rows details. For the run query activity, we need to mention the database connection details. The database connection details we can mention in two ways. If the database connection is already created, that variable we can mention in the existing connection. So in this case, it will not going to create a new connection, so it will use that existing connection and then it will execute the queries. Or else we can mention the connection string either in the connection string field or secure connection string field. So if you are mentioning the connection string, the provider name is mandatory. So in this case, so the run query will going to create a new connection, right? And then it will going to execute the query. So I will show you these two scenarios. So first I am going to mention the secure connection string and the provider name. So in the get secret activity, we already extracted the connection string. So let me copy the variable, and here in the secure connection string, I am going to paste the variable, and I am going to copy the provider name and paste in the provider name field in the run query. So here we have a command type. So here we have three types are available: text, stored procedure, and table direct. So text means we need to mention the complete query in the SQL query field. And if you select the stored procedure, we need to mention the stored procedure name in the SQL query field. Table direct means it will going to extract the all the table data. So for this we need to mention the table name in the SQL query. Here one thing, so this table direct will not work for all the databases. The output of the run query activity will give us the output as data table. So here I am going to create a variable. Now I am going to convert the data table into the text. So for that I am going to take output data table as text activity. So let me take one log message to display the data table text. Right? Here in the database I have created one table. The table name is employee details. Here in the table we have 5 employee details are available. So let's see how we can extract all the employee details in the UiPath Studio. In the SQL query we need to mention the query. I am going to mention select star from employee details. Click on save. So as we are mentioning the complete query, so in the comment type should be text. So let's save and run the process and verify the output. Now the process execution has been completed. So in the output panel we can see all the 5 employee details, right? Now in the run query I am going to remove the provider name and the secure connection string variable, and I am going to mention the existing connection as DB connection. Now let's run the process and verify the output. So in the output we can see all the 5 employee details, right? Now I want to extract the employee details whose salary is greater than 40,000. So let's see how we can write the query and extract the details. So here I am going to mention the where condition, right? So let's save and run the process. So in the output we can see only 2 employee details and the salary is greater than 40,000, right? Here basically we are mentioning the input values, right? So whenever we are mentioning the input values in the query, it is better to mention them in the parameters. So let me show you how we can mention these values in the parameters. For the run query, we have a property parameters. So click on the parameters. So first we need to mention the parameter name. I'm mentioning the parameter name as salary. So basically this parameter name and the database table columns is not required to match. The data type should be decimal. And here we need to mention the value as 40,000, right? And then in the query we need to change this value with the parameter. So the parameter should start with at the rate and then the parameter. Now let's save and run the process and verify the output. So we are getting the same output, right? So here I would like to add one more filter. So the name should contains I character, right? So let's see how we can write the query and get the details. So here I am going to mention an emp name like at the rate name. So this is parameter, so I am going to mention in the parameters. So here I am going to mention the value as right? Now let's save and run the process and verify the output. So now the process execution completed. So in the output we can see only one employee details and the salary greater than 40,000 and employee name contains I character. Now let's see how we can execute the stored procedure. So here the SQL query I'm going to mention the stored procedure name. So this stored procedure will going to extract all the employee details and we need to remove the parameters. Then we need to change the command type to stored procedure, right? Now let's save and run the process and verify the output. Now the process execution has been completed and we have all the employee details, right? In some situations, we need to understand the table schema details, like how many columns are created, column names, columns data type, and what are the keys are applied, right? By using the run query, we can get the table schema as well. So let me show you how we can get the table schema. So in the SQL query, we need to mention the query. So here I mentioned the column name, data type, character max length, right? So in here in the table name we need to mention what table information you wanted to extract, right? Click on save and then we need to change the command type to text as we are mentioning the complete query. So let's run the process and verify the output. So in the output we can see the column names, employee ID varchar 10 and employee name varchar 100 and salary is of money type, right? In the same way, if you want to know the stored procedure inside query, we can do that. So for that, we can mention the query like sp underscore help text and then the stored procedure name. So click on save and let's save and run the process and verify the output. So now the process execution has been completed. So in the output, so here the complete query inside the stored procedure, right?